I'd come home from school, just eat, really just play video games, do nothing. And for my age, I was overweight. And I don't know, one day just my dad came home mad, upset, and he was like, "Put your shoes on, let's go to the gym." And me thinking it was gonna be a fitness gym, like a LA Fitness or something. And no, he took us to the boxing gym. And we started working out. 6 months later, we had our first amateur fight.
Okay, in
Yeah.
6 months. This is Gardy with Clear Life here at the Clear Life headquarters in Leak City. I have a guest, and we're going to be talking about El Tigre Promotions. It's taking place July 27th in Baytown, Texas. You can get your tickets. You can also watch it on El Tigre Promotions social media. You can watch it live on Clear Life Media. I have a guest. We're going to be hanging out, finding out about everything he has going on. Hey, how you doing? Can you introduce yourself and let me know what you got going on?
Yes, my name is Gonzalez. I'm currently 5-0 with 4 knockouts, and I'm fighting out of Houston, Texas. But I train in Baytown, Texas, with Coach Lopez.
All right, so the event's taking place in Baytown this Saturday, July 27th.
Yes.
I know you're from Houston, but is that kind of like you got the home court advantage, even though the other guys from Houston as well?
Somewhat. I mean, because all my family lives in Houston. No one really lives in Baytown, but it does feel close to home. I mean, it's not far. It's only about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So it practically is home.
Yeah. You know, what got you into boxing? Why even go down this path?
Honestly, it started as a punishment, believe it or not. My dad, it was me and my brother who used to box, because there's only two of us. So I was 14, 13 at the time, and I'd come home from school, just eat, really just play video games, do nothing. And for my age, I was overweight. And I don't know, one day just my dad came home mad, upset, and he was like, "Put your shoes on, let's go to the gym." And me thinking it was gonna be a fitness gym, like a LA Fitness or something. And no, he took us to the boxing gym, and we started working out. 6 months later, we had our first amateur fight.
Okay, in
Yeah.
6 months from like having zero experience.
Yeah,
pretty
from
much.
having zero experience to having my first amateur fight, and I turned open early in my career. I was only like 5 fights, and I was already fighting with fighters with over 60 fights, over 70 fights, and it was hard. I mean, I would take maybe 4 or 5 losses straight, and I had it very hard. But I guess the not quitting and continue pushed me, and to become the fighter that I am now.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for everything,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it all.
Why do you think your dad picked a boxing gym versus doing something else? Did he have a background or any family that went down the combat sports path?
No, not really. He used to box, but just train. He did want to fight, but his stepdad never let him. I guess to them it was too dangerous, and I don't know. For him, it was just, I have no idea.
What about your brother? Did he go train too?
Yes, my brother. So we started together. We started our boxing career at the same age. Well, not the same age, but the same time. And we both did about 70, 80 amateur fights. And we did go to multiple national tournaments. And he ended up being second place in like 2 or 3 of them. But no, he had other plans in life. He wanted to work, get money, But he still thinks about it till this day, and he's like, "Man, sometimes I wish I could go back to it, or sometimes I wish I wouldn't have quit." But I guess the hardest part is just not quitting, because it gets very difficult in the road. Sometimes it doesn't go the way as you plan it or as the way that you want. So you just have to keep pushing, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
What about the support it takes from family or sponsors, especially as an amateur? I mean, you're doing it. I think of like the parents with the travel baseball and all this stuff, the work that goes into it and the money that's put into it. You have to have a lot of support, right?
Oh yes, most definitely. Well, my dad, luckily for me, my brother, me and my mother, they've been our number one supporters since day one. My dad has told me, no matter what you want to do in life, as long as you want, you do your best and you want to be number one at it, So, but yes, I mean, it was, for a national tournament, he would have to miss a whole week of work, and us, we had to miss a whole week of school. So it takes a lot of sacrifice and dedication. And, but in the beginning, it was just, him always pushing us like, okay, come on, let's do it. So, it did feel good. But now, I guess I'm older in my career now, where it's like, I have to, I do everything on my own now, Like he don't have to tell me like or try to baby me no more. Like okay, like I know what I'm supposed to do already, and then because in the beginning it kind of did feel like a punishment, you know, but now I love it, man. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, you have to get to that point, I guess, in anything, and decide, hey, I want to do this, you know, for myself. I got to put the work in. I got to, you know, my diet and wake up and do all that, right?
Exactly, yeah. Because he's not gonna be there, you know, every step of the way, being like, oh, you have to do this, you can't do that, you know. But he does tell me every now and then, you know. But at the end of the day, it's up to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not up to anybody. It's not his dream. It's not anybody else's dream besides mine. So I have to put in the work.
What about during, you know, in school, if you had to miss school and all that? I mean, did people know that you were training and boxing and that's why you were gone? And what was that like for you?
In the beginning, they didn't. They would just be like, oh, why did you miss a week of school? You know, because I would never really miss days of school unless I was really sick or something. But yeah, so the teachers would be like, oh, why did you miss a week of school? And I would tell them. And I guess a lot of people didn't know, but I remember this one teacher that I had. She was my geometry teacher. She was from China, I believe. But yeah, she was into UFC, so she liked fighting. But yeah, so when I told her, she was like, oh, let me see some fights of yours, and she would show the whole class. So little by little, the whole school started to know that me and my brother used to box. But luckily in school, nobody picked on us or anything, so we didn't have no problem.
Yeah, you didn't have to use it.
Yeah. Nah. But I mean, either way, we're not the type of kids to go pick on other kids or anything. We would just, you know, stay to ourselves.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so, you know, let's talk a little bit about the fight. It's coming up. It's this Saturday. You know, going into this, what kind of game plan do you have, or what can you share about it?
Yeah. So my opponent, he's a lot taller than me. So he's 6'1". I'm 5'9". But yeah, I mean, the game plan is just to stay calm. You know, just stick to the game plan, which is work to the body first. And then, because he's really tall and he likes to move his head a lot. So if I try to go for the head, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to hit it. So I got to go, you know, just take my time, go to the body, then go back up to the head. And slowly by slowly, he's going to come down. I'm predicting a knockout, but if it doesn't come, then I'll take a decision win.
Yeah, so you said you're 5-0, and how many of those are knockouts?
4 of them are knockouts.
4 are knockouts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Three. I started my career in Mexico. So my first 3 fights were in Mexico.
What was that like?
It was good. I mean, it was good. It was a good experience. And honestly, I'm happy that I did it that way, because as in the amateurs, so at nationals, there's like 3-4 rings, you know what I'm saying? So there's not, you know, much people besides your own team, you know? And here, once you go pro, it's like all the spotlight is on you, you know? So that's, at least for me, since I get nervous really quick, it was very hard for me to control the nerves. But I'm happy I did it that way, you know? And actually, my pro debut, I actually got knocked down, I guess, because I was so nervous. I just blanked out. But no, I got back up and I finished the fight, and I ended up stopping him, so that was good. But it was just controlling my nerves in the beginning, being in the spotlight, you know, with the interviews, people, you know, having recording you all the time. I would probably just say that was the biggest thing starting. But now I'll just, I'm not saying I don't have problems with it, but I do. But I'm a lot more relaxed now compared to when I first started.
What kind of, I guess, decisions went into deciding that you were ready to go pro?
I don't know. I guess I just hit that age, because I turned pro not too long ago, which was like a year ago, probably a little more. I was like 19, 20. But that was my dad's decision. It wasn't up to me. I mean, I did say when I was young I did want to go pro, but my dad said whenever I feel like you're ready, then we'll go pro. It was never my decision, always his. I guess, you know, because he's the one who trained me. He's the one who trained me since the beginning of my career. You know, so it was all up to him.
Yeah. What's it been like working with El Tigre Promotions?
It's been good. I mean, you know, they show a lot of love, very respectful, you know, and you know, at least luckily for me, you know, they were able to put me in the cards since December, you know, and they've been putting me in every card ever since. It was just my last fight, my opponent pulled out, but other than that, I would have fought on their last show as well.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you do have an opponent, and I know things happen, there's injuries or just things happen, right?
Yes.
What's that like whenever you've put in all the work or you're planning for a fight and it just gets pulled out from under you?
Yeah, man, it sucks. It feels bad, honestly. I mean, I still did a full training camp, and they were telling me, your opponent pulled out, but we're gonna get you another one. We're gonna get you another one, and they did try to contact 3 or 4 more others, but it just sucks, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there's nothing you could do. I mean, I honestly believe God's timing is perfect. So if it wasn't God's time for me to fight, then it just wasn't.
Yeah.
What
about long-term goals? What are your plans going forward? What do you want out of this?
Long term, I do eventually want to become world champion and just make as much money as I can with this, and eventually retire and start multiple business, invest my money, of course. Because I do come from a family with my dad who invests his money. He's very smart with his money, so I would want to try to follow in his footsteps.
Why should somebody come watch July 27th, or why should they tune in and watch online?
Excuse me?
Why should somebody decide to come out to the fight and watch you on Saturday?
Yes, it's going to be fireworks, man. All I can say is I'm going to predict a knockout. I'm going to guarantee you a knockout. So just come July 27th. Get your tickets online with the Tigre Promotions, because it's going to be a good show.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Yes, just follow me on my Instagram, at Chris Saul Jr., or on Facebook, just look me up, Christopher Gonzalez.
All right, Christopher Gonzalez, 5-0, El Tigre Promotions. It's going down. Baytown, Texas. You can watch on Clear Life Media. You can watch on El Tigre Promotions, or we'll see you at the fights.